Okay, we are live. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thursday night, y'all. You're close as ever to Friday. Welcome. I see you guys coming in. Tell us where you are tuning in from. I see some numbers populating, not any names yet, but I would love to hear and see who is tuning in. Welcome, you guys. As you guys are coming in, we are excited about tonight. Tonight is hello, Chanel. So tonight is our in this series. Regina is actually going to be our last interview during this series. Of course, we'll come back and do another Heal Life later, but y'all, we have to make the best, the last one, the best one, of course. So y'all pull up and kind of sit and chat with us tonight. This is going to be a good one. I know that you guys have seen different women, different stages of their life, different things that they desired in their life, different ages. But I want you guys to know that I believe that we all have something in common as women, that we are seeking an even more healed and powerful version of ourselves. And so that's the reason why I created this broadcast, The Heal Life, because I believe it is easier to live healed than bound. I believe that God has given us the abundant life, and that abundant life includes you living a free life, free of trauma, free of anything that's tried to hinder you, obstructions, roots of your past, anything that tries to hinder you, stop you, or prohibit your progress. I believe that God has given us the freedom and the liberty to break free from those things. And so I want to welcome you guys to the broadcast tonight. If you would take a minute and share as you guys are coming in. I'm going to share as well to my page, to my other page. And if you guys would join me, go ahead and share as well. Y'all made it to Friday Eve. Made it to Friday Eve. Okay, I see you guys coming in, but I still don't see your comments. Hopefully they'll populate in a minute. All right, so cities and states. Let's do a roll call, you guys. Where are y'all tuning in from? What city, what state? Where are you tuning in from? All right, so cities and states. Okay, I'm trying to see you guys on here as we are getting everybody on tonight. One thing I wanna share before I bring Regina up. Regina is, I would say she's a millennial. She's full of zest, zeal for life, talented, intelligent, but I've never met, since I met her, probably been about a year ago. She is a person that throws herself into, she doesn't have to do anything. She throws herself into whatever she does. And so I've seen her just plug in. And if she decides she's going to do something, she's in. Such a hunger and thirst for God's word, and to be able to apply God's word to her life. I don't think I've seen that type of zeal to apply God's word and to really get the solution and the answer and dig deep and do some reflection. She's always reflecting, always looking within to try to make sure she's better. And so I want to introduce her to you guys, those of you that may not know her. Some of you may, but some of you may not. And I want to share her with you guys. She's just a ball of joy. Hello, Ty. I was wondering when you was going to come in. I'm like, where's Tasheen? Where's Tasheen? And so, Ty, go ahead and share and tag a few people. Let them know that the Heal Life is on. We coming up on Friday, y'all. And y'all, listen. First of all, Regina, I got to get some more people on here. Let me tell y'all something. So tomorrow is what? The 28th? Y'all, we are coming to the end of the month already. So I want you guys to know, if you miss Prophetic Push, you're like, Prophetess, when you going to come back and do Prophetic Push? You missed 2 Tuesdays in a row. I am planning to do 31 days of wisdom And so you guys can join me on YouTube. I think I'm going to be on Instagram too, live, and Facebook. And we are going to be on for 31 days. But I'm also going to have some guests come on and do some discussions about the book of Proverbs. So don't be surprised if you see some women and men come on with me. I've got some surprises up my sleeve. Really want just a plethora and a different perspective from different walks of life, different leadership roles. Just want different people to come on the broadcast. So I'm going to sneak some surprises in there from the 30th, from the 1st to the 31st. So you guys tune in every morning at 7 a.m. We're not going to be on long. I would say between 7 and 7:30 at the most. So thank you for tagging time. All right. So without further ado, I want to bring her up because we want to give her some time to tell her story. I believe that every woman mirrors another woman. And sometimes when I bring women on here, I haven't realized it until lately how powerful your story can be, because you may be speaking for a woman that haven't found her voice yet. And so I believe that even as Regina shares her story, her journey, that she's going to speak for a woman that may not look like her, but she is going through the same thing that Regina was going through. And her story is going to encourage you tonight. She is an emotional intelligence expert. I'm calling her an expert because she is an expert, honey. That's what she does, honey. So we listen, we ain't bringing no knowledge. She's an expert. This is what she does. She's written a book. So she's going to explain to us more about emotional intelligence. I might need to just have Regina on just to talk about that. You know, that sounds like a good topic. What y'all think? Just to have her on to talk about that, because the kingdom don't need to be behind. Y'all don't let me go off on that rabbit trail. We don't need to be behind. And when we don't know what's going on, we behind. So when God brings experts or people that study to show themselves approved, and we don't know, we need to bring them in so we know what's going on in that area. So I don't be surprised if I bring her back. Okay. So we can really get an in-depth study or in-depth conversation going about emotional intelligence. But she's a ball of joy. She's got the zeal. She's a professional. She's a woman of honesty, transparency. She is a self-starter. She's accountable. She has a spirit of excellence, and she is an alumni of Call to Clarity. And I'm bringing her in because I'm excited. Oh, y'all, welcome, Miss Beautiful Regina Atkins. Come on in.
I am so honored to be here. I'm like, who is she talking about? Me?
Yes, and look, sneak me the lipstick color. Sneak me the lipstick color. Just send me the pic.
I'm different today.
Well, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
So what didn't I hit on? So I know you do a lot of things, Regina, and I know that it seems like you pride yourself on knowing and doing your due diligence. I know that about you. I picked it up from the beginning, but kind of tell the audience, that people that may not know you, what you would like them to know about you tonight.
Well, I'm a lifelong learner, and we can even go into a whole story about that. Hey, Chanel. I love to travel. I like to spend time with my family. I'm an author. I wrote a book called Leveraging Emotional Intelligence. I am an educator. I'm a facilitator. I'm a coach. I train. I speak. So saying that now, I guess I do a lot. You don't really realize it until you start naming stuff out. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you do a lot, and I love the way you just you're a sponge. Like, you really will sit as a student, even though you know a lot. People don't take you as, oh, she's a know-it-all. Even though you're very accomplished, you really are a person that can sit and just soak up, because you really want to know the answer. Were you always like that as a child? Kind of tell us where that came from.
So yeah, I think so. And I'm just the type of person that if I have a problem, if I have an issue, I can't understand why people don't want to find their solution. And even if it take even if it takes me a while, I'm gonna Google, I'm gonna learn. Like yeah, I've always been that way. If I have a problem, I need to find the solution. But you know what, honestly, I think some of that comes from my background and my past, and not having my parent there in the way that he needed to be. So I did have to do things, maybe earlier, that I wouldn't have had to do if I had both parents. So I do feel like it has something to do with that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I love the fact that was a weakness, you've turned it into a strength.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that you're operating from a place of strength and not a place of weakness. So about a year ago, we got introduced, and I think you came through Bloom first, or you came through something small, and then you came to Bloom. But kind of tell me, because you, like you say, you are a lifelong learner. You're a coach. I think I want to sit here for a second. There's a lot of women in ministry and a lot of women that are professionals in business that sometimes think, well, I'm accomplished. What do I look like? Putting myself in a position to think that I need to heal more, or I need to take some time to look inward. Kind of tell me, was that something that you struggle with, or was it just easy for you?
Um, I struggle with it in some ways. In some ways I did. But that was more about me, like, admitting some things to myself and having to look inward and acknowledge some pain that I had. But I've always been the type of person that listened. And I understand that I don't know it all. So I do listen to the expert. If there's someone, I was never like a jealous type person. I always wanted to, if you had something that I liked or I desired, I would say one day. I'm gonna be like them one day. I'm gonna get that thing one day. And so I understand that people have levels of expertise that I don't have. So
Mm,
I don't know it all. So I have always been that way. I
mm,
definitely can learn, and I'm gonna always be learning and evolving. So I'm always willing to learn.
yeah. So what was the tipping point for you to say, I might need to look into healing more, or healing in a different way? Because I know you've done some work.
Mhm.
You've explored some other coaching programs, but kind of tell me where you were, and what was the defining moment that you say, you know what, maybe I need to look into this a little further.
Oddly enough, I really was. I was in a good place. I was like in one of the best places I had ever been.
Mm,
I still knew there was more. So I'm really grateful for it, because I think it's important to name that and to say that, like, you could be in a good place and
mm,
still know that there's something else more that I need. And that's where I was. I was in a good place, but there was something else more, and I knew that it was emotional, because, like you said, I had been in another coaching program that was, it was comprehensive, and it did address that, but I knew that I needed more. I was in therapy. So we're gonna name all the things. I was in therapy, all of that, but I knew that there was more that I needed. And obviously I didn't know how to do it, because I still needed it. So yeah, I was glad that God connected us.
yeah. Because you're an expert of emotional intelligence, but not the expert of healing from things that happened in your past. And I think that's important for us, because when, I share this all the time, that when I didn't know I had a poverty mentality, I didn't know I had it,
Yeah.
but I had to get me a financial coach. I had to get someone that was versed in money, faith and figures. She had to really speak to me in a way to where I said, you know what, I have to change my mindset. you
Mhm.
know we called her a wealth coach, Stacia Pierce. And it's like, until I really was exposed to her, I couldn't even begin to do some of the things that I needed to do, because she had the key to what I
Yeah.
was missing. So I'm an expert at what I do. You're an expert at what you do. She's an expert at what she does. And if we learn just to go to where the experts are, or what the person that's proven they have what you need, I think we'll get there faster. So you knew you needed some healing, and then you decided you were going to take a comprehensive program, which is called a clarity. What would you say was the biggest, aha moment or breakthrough for you? Like, what was the first thing that you noticed? This is what I need.
You know what? The, There was so much. So ask me the question again, because there's a lot of stuff going through my head right now, and I want to make sure that I answer
So the
it.
biggest breakthrough. So I know you came in knowing there was more for you. And when you say more, that means you're accomplished, you're good, you're content, but you're not satisfied with where you are. But when you start digging, what was the biggest breakthrough? Like what was the thing that you said, I didn't know that I needed to even address that.
Okay.
That's big for me.
It comes with a small story. I don't,
Okay,
but
yes.
okay. My biggest breakthrough was when I went to see my father in the hospital. So you have to know some background. And so I'll just say, not to take up too much time, that I don't know why he has never treated me like the rest of my siblings. And I don't know. I might even look like him more than my brothers do. So there's no, there's no like, maybe none of that. I don't know. I don't know why, but it is very, it's there. And so I haven't spoke to him. I reached out, tried, and that's why I say this is another level of healing that I didn't know I needed. I was good, I thought, and he had something wrong, and I went to the hospital, and he was kind to me. The last time that I went to see him in the hospital, he wouldn't look at me. He turned down prayer. And again, like I don't think I'm fasting, praying. I did all of that before I went to see him that first time. Um and that's how it was. So this same hospital, I went back, but I felt like that is what I needed to do. And he was kind to me. And it wasn't like, like, oh, I'm so sorry for this. No, just actually looked at me and had a conversation. And so that brought about another level of healing that I didn't know that I needed. Or I guess that I need. I wouldn't say that I wanted, but just that I needed, like, to him, for him to be kind to me. That helped me, and that did something for me that day.
Mhm.
And if I wasn't in call to clarity, I wouldn't have done it. I wasn't in a bad place. I would pray for him, but I would not have done that again. So yeah, that gave me another level of healing that I didn't know that I needed.
Yeah, because we learned and we teach that you take the first step, and whatever is going to be what you need to do, that's what you do. You don't wait on other people to do what you know needs to be done. So for you to take that step, and then the first time you do it, it's like, what? And I remember us talking about it, on a private call. You're like, I just can't believe it.
Prayer on their sick bed, like, from
Yeah,
whoever it is. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. And in that moment, you said you didn't know to pray for it, but it was something that made you feel like, you know what? I'm glad I obeyed, because it was a point where you had stopped saying, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But out of that, it didn't make you whole that he did that, but it made you start looking at yourself and kind of the work that you needed to do within. And that would bring me to the next question, because I think everybody has a theme, everybody has, something that they take away that nobody can take from them. They don't forget it. It's stapled in them. It's like ingrained in them. What happened to you as a result of you doing this work? Because you're already beautiful. I mean, you already serve, you already intelligent, but we can mask, and things can look one way. What happened with you?
I loved me again. That's what happened. I like became good with me, like, for real. So,
Mhm.
like, like you said, we mask things. And so, maybe somebody wouldn't have thought that was the case with me. But when you have a parent reject you, you internalize. That's what children do. You
Mhm.
internalize. And so you carry that, not knowing it. Because I used to say, oh, I'm good. I have my uncles, I have my granny, and they were great. And I think I'm grateful to God for allowing me to be an adult before I truly realized, like, oh, this is like this did it bothered you, and you did need your father. And so then I was able to handle it. But yeah, I love me. I love me, and I'm good with me, and it's not a mask, and it's not like something I'm just saying because it sounds good. Like I found me, and I did. I found my voice again because I was definitely like a stranger danger defense. Like if I don't know you, I did not fool you. This is a nice look on my face. I did not. I did. I did not. I was talking to I think it was Chanel actually the other day, and I said sometimes I'm like, did you just show all of your teeth to that stranger? Because now, like, I just smile at people like it's second nature now, and I'm like, okay, that dial it back because I think that was too much. Like it's just I can't contain the joy. Like I'm really happy and good with me. Like I really am.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think people underestimate that because you can't attract real when you're not being real.
Yeah.
You know, you can't attract it. And people feel like this pretentiousness. And I remember us sharing how I got a quirky sense of humor. You got a quirky sense of humor. And, you know, us getting to this place where when we heal, we can embrace every facet of who we are and without apologizing, not worrying about who doesn't like it. So you felt liberated.
Mhm. I did. I
That was
did.
that was big. That was big. And then you start interacting differently. Because I
Mhm.
think you went, so it was just to me a domino effect in your life
Yeah.
where you start doing your business more. It
Mhm.
affected every other thing.
Everything. Yep. Everything.
Hmm.
Every people that I know, people that I don't know. Yeah, I engage everyone differently now. People on the street driving, because I used to take that personally. Like, it was just like nobody's going to mistreat me again. So it can literally be somebody driving, and I'm like, you think you finna try to pull over on me? No, you're not. You're not. I mean, like something that simple. I was able to like dig and relate that and understand where that trigger was coming from, and it was from my father mistreating me.
Hmm.
So,
And so we're operating in so many layers from one place of trauma, and it's trickling over to our relationships with our friends, with our relationships on our job, with our
mhm.
relationships in ministry. Like you can't even serve right when you don't trust people and you don't know how to interact with people. Like I saw the big difference.
Yeah, I greet now at my church, and yeah, I started right a little bit before Call to Clarity. But let me tell you, those people that don't speak to me now or speak back or walk past me like I didn't hear, like it means it's nothing now. It's
Mhm.
nothing now because I know that I don't give out to get back. Like I don't know what you're going through. I don't know, like, and I know how I would have walked in there. I know how I tried to not engage the greeter sometimes. So I have life is just different. It's so much different now because I'm healed. Like I'm so much better.
Yeah. I always like to tell people healing is like a shield. And what used to hit your heart hits your shield. So you don't take things personally anymore. You don't internalize what people don't or do to you. You are good because you know who you are. And when you make peace with yourself and you engage and you embrace who you are to the fullest without saying, I mean, just whatever it is, like sometimes I don't get jokes. Okay, I'm not gonna try to make it seem like something's wrong with me because I don't get the joke. That's just how God made me. But I embrace even the things that maybe people laughed at, because that was me. That was one of the most liberating places in my life because I had never really truly embraced everything about me and was okay with it.
Yeah.
No more apology.
Yeah.
So, what was the thing that you feel like? Well, that may have been it. Was there something in that you got that you didn't know you needed? Were there other things?
You know, two things that I really really got is that people that understood me. I really got another level of like how important relatability is. And so that was something. And then I got friends. I got more friends.
Well, we know that. She's on here. Oh my God. She's on here. That was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just yeah, yeah.
The thing that really impressed me was she was thinking about you and was like, I'm scared to reach out to her. I'm like, why, Regina? No, reach out to Regina, you know. And she's like, you think so? I'm like, definitely, definitely think. And to see the way you guys are, because I believe you're connected. I don't believe you can go on a journey and share those intimate times and places and tears, you know, and emotional vulnerability, you know, and all of that for 8 weeks, or y'all might have been 6 weeks, but I think y'all were 8 weeks. You can't, yeah, y'all were 8 weeks. You can't share 2 months with someone in that depth of emotion and don't feel connection to them.
Yeah. We went through a range of like we're all still connected. We went through a range of emotions together. And yeah, like we have a bond. We do. We have a bond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you guys ended up being close friends. So friendship came out of it, freedom, a rediscovered love for yourself. I believe it impacted your confidence in your business. Kind of
Sure.
tell us what emotional intelligence is, and was it impacted by your experience?
Yeah, so I'm glad you said that because it helped me so much during like yeah, I pulled on a lot. Like it helped me a lot during Call to Clarity. But emotional intelligence is, in a nutshell, managing and understanding your emotions and the emotions of people around you. So actually, like the research and all, it really does come from a work context, but of course that affects like every area of your life. And so just like when I was talking about the car thing, like that was me identifying triggers through that work based
Mm,
on what my past experiences is. You show up in every area of your life because of what you've gone through and what you've dealt with or not. So it teaches you like to identify those triggers, literally like physiological responses in your body, and how to deal with people, empathy, active listening. There are a lot of different components, but essentially how to engage people more and operate effectively in the workplace and in your life, because you're not going to be a good leader until you're like that at home. Like what you do behind closed doors is going to show up at work and outside of home. So,
so it's called leveraging emotional intelligence.
mhm.
Okay. So we need to definitely, you guys follow Regina, and I'm hoping that she has it pinned or it's in a bio,
It
the
is.
book.
It
Okay,
is.
so it's in the bio, so you guys can follow her and also look up the book, Leveraging Emotional Intelligence. What's next for you? Like what? I know you've done some webinars, you do trainings, you do a plethora of things. Kind of tell us what's next for you and what direction you're going in.
Actually, I'm going to start a program soon to get another certification in emotional intelligence. Yeah, and so webinars are definitely on the horizon. More webinars and trainings, and some speaking engagements. So that's what's next for me.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you came on. I want to leave before you leave. I want you to speak to that woman that's that maybe it's not where you are, but she's got a lot of things in common with you. She's a professional woman. She is accomplished. She's educated, um, and she pours into other people. And there's still some things that maybe she hasn't got clarity, or she hasn't really gotten free or healed from, that maybe she says, you know what, I moved on from that. I don't need to heal from that. But we know that unless you take your power back from your past, you'll never be free.
Yeah.
You have to face things and remember things so that you can release things. And release is not a thought, it's an action. So when you went to see your dad and when you engaged people, that was release and that was healing. Why? Because you changed your response and how you dealt with them, and you didn't expect them to be your answer, but you became your own answer and took your own voice back to respond and to interact, no matter how they acted towards you, but how you were built, how you were built. So kind of tell us, if you had to speak for a woman that maybe don't have her voice, she's not sure, but she's thinking, I need something, I know there's more for me, I know I have some trauma, I've dealt with some rejection, or I've dealt with some things from my childhood or from my adolescent or from a relationship, and I need to do some work. What would you tell her?
Healing is a non-negotiable for your next.
Mm,
You're not gonna get to your next level unless you do the work and heal. And so you may be afraid, but you have to think about what's on the other side of that more than you think about going through the process of healing, because what's on the other side of it is so much better and it's so much more worth it than what you're dealing with right now. You're
mm, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You're worth being um the real deal, because I can be honest and say, people will look at me and say, oh, she's got it all together. And internally, I was tore down. I wanted my inside and my outside to match.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the most liberating, most rewarding things, where when people say, well, what you get, what you see is what you get. I finally, when you get to that place, you're proud of yourself because there's no more mask.
Yeah.
No more pretending. And if you're working, you're just working. You're working
Yeah.
on yourself, you know. And it's just the biggest and best work you'll ever do is on
Mhm.
yourself, you know,
Yeah.
because you are worth the investment. So I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your journey. I know you got some friends. Tortanisha's on here.
Hey,
Did I say it right?
Polynesia.
Yeah, she's on here. Tanya's on here. Sharon's on here. Monica
What?
Brown's on. Yes, my sister Danielle Taylor's on. Yeah, they say, oh, we love you. We love you.
I love you.
Oh yeah, you got some friends on here, girl.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah. So I want to thank you for coming on and inspiring us, sharing your story, and continuing to really be a forerunner for women your age. Because I really feel like sometimes at your age, because you're in your 30s, right?
No.
How old are you? No, don't tell us.
Oh,
You want to tell us?
I don't care. I'm 45.
You better stop.
Yeah.
I didn't put you in 32.
A birth. That's why I was like, maybe I don't know the age of millennial. I don't know.
Wait a
No.
minute. You need to send me
Had
a
a birthday
post.
in December.
I done had you at 30, 32, 33.
Oh yeah. I'm 45.
Regina, you look so young.
Well, thank you.
Ah! Let me put you back with, look, put you back. You can't be my child. I had you.
Oh no.
She can be my child. Oh my
Oh,
God. Well, God has preserved you and you look
thank,
amazing.
thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. You represent the 40 in between 40 and 45 group. You represent women and you represent well. And I want to thank you for telling your story and being honest, because I didn't know we were gonna go to, the family, but I think a lot of women deal with that, either having an absent father, a father that abandoned them, or a father that just wasn't the father we needed. And sometimes we really um, underestimate the damage that can be done as a young girl that needs a father, but they're not there, you
Yeah.
know. And so for you to share that out of the gate without me knowing, I really want to thank you, because I think a lot of women deal with that and they have never addressed it. But you started with that, which says you've got to deal with the things that you didn't deal with before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of Call to Clarity, I can say that. Like, I used to be ashamed, like it was my fault or something.
Mm,
I didn't make that decision, but yeah, now because of Call to Clarity, I can share that and share without tearing up, or I'm good. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah. Well, we thank you. Y'all give us some hearts and some thumbs up as she goes in the back. Just stay in the back for me, Regina. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
They said, "Oh, definitely going." She said, "You definitely look like you in your 30s." Woo! All right, you guys. So stay back in the back for me, Regina. All right, you guys, give us some hearts as she leaves. Okay. All right, y'all. Did y'all think she was in her 30s too? I was saying the same thing. The child been with me a year, and I'm sitting up here saying she's 30. So, honey, she need to come touch and lay hands on me because she had me fooled. She had me fooled. Y'all probably saying Providence is crazy. But definitely giving 30s. Yes, she is, Cherie. That's what I said. Mm. Ty said, and I did too. I did too. I did. I definitely thought it. I never asked her because I just assumed. Yeah. But isn't it good to see black don't crack, y'all? It don't crack. Mm. All right, you guys. I'm not gonna prolong the time. Y'all know we are getting ready. Those of you that have been watching me on the fence, this is our last push before we take um, our women that are in Call to Clarity cohort 17. This is our 17th cohort. And if you know you are ready to do the work, trust me, you are worth the investment. But you know you're ready to do the work, you're curious, you need some more information about our program, which is called Call to Clarity. It is a healing, purpose, and identity course. We focus on healing from anything that has tried to inhibit you from moving, anything that's hindered you and tried to paralyze you in your trauma, things that make you overthink and second guess yourself. And also, we help people really put a stamp on and settle themselves in what they're called to do, to confirm and endorse you and your spiritual gifts and help you stay in a place where you're seen, served, and you feel like that you're safe. Because I think more than anything, the 5 years that I've been teaching this course, the main thing that people always say to me, one of the top things is, I feel safe. I feel like I can finally take the mask off. I feel like I'm in a safe environment. And so if you feel like you need that safe environment to do the work, to look inward, to discover who you want to become, that woman that you know is deep down on the inside of you, but you just haven't given her permission to emerge, or there's something stopping her from emerging because the other version of you, the inferior version, is stopping that new version from emerging. I want you to use that link that I have. I think it's pinned, or you can go up to my bio, make an appointment with me. We are starting Call to Clarity, or you can send me an inbox and just send the word clarity to me. I would love to speak with you, get on a call with you, and tell you about our 8-week intensive Call to Clarity. It is a game changer. It will change your life, and there's no better time than now to really get clarity about who you are and what you want your life to look like. And so, yes, we help people feel safe, seen, and served. Yes. And so I want to welcome you guys. Those of you that are on the fence, welcome you to make a call with me. Let's get on a call and chat. And if you know you just need coaching, healing, release, get on a call with me and we'll see where you fit best. All right. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, and Regina. Thank Regina again. Thank you, Regina, for sharing your story and representing a woman that hasn't found her voice yet, but she's getting ready to. She's getting ready to, because she knows that she's worth the investment because her ground is good. All right. I hope you guys have a great and amazing weekend. I'll see you guys Saturday for the first kickoff day for 31 Days of Walking in Wisdom. If you haven't gotten my book, go to my website and pick it up. And I'll meet you guys at 7 a.m. to talk about wisdom from the book of Proverbs. Good night. God bless.